Leviticus 12. And the Lord said to Moses, "Say to the Israelites, if a woman conceives and bears a male child, she shall be unclean 7 days, unclean as during her monthly discomfort. And on the 8th day, the child shall be circumcised. Then she shall remain separated 33 days to be purified from her loss of blood. She shall touch no hallowed thing, nor come into the court of the sanctuary until the days of her purifying are over. But if the child she bears is a girl, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her periodic impurity, and she shall remain separated 66 days to be purified from her loss of blood. When the days of her purifying are completed, whether for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb a year old for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering to the door of the tent of meeting, to the priest. And he shall offer it before the Lord and make atonement for her, and she shall be cleansed from the flow of her blood. This is the law for her who has borne a male or a female child. If she is unable to bring a lamb for lack of means, then she shall bring 2 turtle doves or young pigeons, one for a burnt offering, the other for a sin offering. The priest shall make atonement for her, and she shall be clean. Leviticus Leviticus 13. And the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, when a man has a swelling on his skin, a scab or a bright spot, and it becomes the disease of leprosy in his skin, then he shall be brought to the priest, to Aaron or one of his sons. The priest shall look at the diseased spot on his skin, and if the hair in it has turned white and the disease appears depressed and deeper than his skin, it is a leprous disease, and the priest shall examine him and pronounce him unclean. If the bright spot is white on his skin, not depressed, and the hair on it not turned white, the priest shall quarantine the person or bind up the spot for 7 days. And the priest shall examine him on the 7th day, and if the disease in his estimation is at a standstill and has not spread in the skin, then the priest shall quarantine the person or bind up the spot 7 more days. And the priest shall examine him again the 7th day, and if the diseased part has a more normal color and the disease has not spread in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean. It is only an eruption or a scab, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the eruption or scab spreads farther in the skin after he had shown himself to the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen by the priest again. If the priest sees that the eruption or scab is spreading in the skin, then he shall pronounce him unclean. It is leprosy. When the disease of leprosy is in a man, he shall be brought to the priest, and the priest shall examine him. And if there is a white swelling in the skin, and the hair on it has turned white, and there is a quick raw flesh in the swelling, it is a chronic leprosy in the skin of his body. And the priest shall pronounce him unclean. He shall not bind the spot up, for he is unclean. But if supposed leprosy breaks out in the skin, and it covers all the skin of him who has the disease from head to foot, wherever the priest looks, the priest shall examine him. If the supposed leprosy covers all his body, he shall pronounce him clean of the disease. It is all turned white, and he is clean. But when the raw flesh appears on him, it shall be unclean. And the priest shall examine the raw flesh and pronounce him unclean. For the raw flesh is unclean. It is leprosy. But if the raw flesh turns again and becomes white, he shall come to the priest, and the priest shall examine him. And if the diseased part is turned to white, again, then the priest shall pronounce him clean, who had the disease. He is clean. And when there is in the skin of the body the scar of a boil that is healed, and in the place of the boil there is a white swelling or a bright spot, reddish white, and it is shown to the priest. And if, when the priest examines it, it looks lower than the skin, and the hair on it is turned white, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the disease of leprosy. It has broken out in the boil. But if the priest examines it and finds no white hair in it, and it is not lower than the skin, but appears darker, then the priest shall bind it up for 7 days. If it spreads in the skin, he shall pronounce him unclean. It is diseased. But if the bright spot does not spread, it is the scar of the boil, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. Or if there is any flesh in the skin of which there is a burn by fire, and the quick flesh of the burn becomes a bright spot, reddish white or white, then the priest shall examine it, and if the hair in the bright spot is turned white, and it appears deeper than the skin, it is leprosy broken out in the burn. Therefore, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the disease of leprosy. But if the priest examines it, and there is no white hair in the bright spot, and it is not lower than the rest of the skin, but is darker, then the priest shall bind it up for 7 days, and the priest shall examine him on the 7th day. If it is spreading in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is leprosy. But if the bright spot has not spread, but is darker, it is a swelling from the burn, and the priest shall pronounce him clean, for it is the scar of the burn. When a man or woman has a disease upon the head or in the beard, the priest shall examine the diseased place. If it appears to be deeper than the skin, with yellow, thin hair in it, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a mange-like leprosy of the head or beard. If the priest examines the spot infected by the mange-like disease, and it does not appear deeper than the skin, and there is no black hair in it, the priest shall bind up the spot for 7 days. On the 7th day, the priest shall examine the diseased spot. If the mange has not spread and has no yellow hair in it, and does not look deeper than the skin, then the patient shall be shaved, except the mange-like spot, and the priest shall bind up the spot 7 days more. On the 7th day, the priest shall look at the mange-like spot. If the mange has not spread and looks no deeper than the skin, he shall pronounce the patient clean. He shall wash his clothes and be clean. 소중한 별 하나님, 소중한 별 하나님, 소중한 precious wolf, VO 9620. 소중한 달구지 인생님, 소중한 조아님, 소중한 사인님, 감사합니다. Thank you so much. Wishing everyone a blessed day and night. 모두 감사합니다. 하루 보내세요.